I'm Shane, obviously, and this is Jenny. We are going to talk a little bit today about the STAX modular EMC system. As many of you know, it's hard not to know at this point that the world is in a supply chain shortage. Everywhere you look, everywhere you go, everybody's out of something. I mean, I was somewhere the other day, I think it was Chick-fil-A, and they were out of biscuits. So, I mean, if Chick-fil-A is going to be out of biscuits, it's probably not a stretch to say that you may be having inventory issues with your stuff. So with that being said, today we wanted to talk a little bit about STAX, which is a modular EMC unit. STAX is something that we've been selling for a couple of years now, and where we believe that STAX is best for everyone right now, especially, is that we have this product in stock at the moment. I'm hearing that a lot of the competition for electronic message centers are looking at somewhere between a 24 and 36 week lead time in a lot of situations. But with STAX at GSG, we can get you that EMC unit within a week. One of the things that we say about STAX is from order to install in less than a week. Jenny is going to show us a quick little video of just kind of an overview of STAX and what it's all about. You'll hear from Brett Wright, who is one of their co-founders, and he will kind of go over about how STAX is simple, sellable, and supported. Jenny, you're muted.
Quickly and easily assemble a high def.
Better?
Next LED, we are extremely excited about our newest product offering in the EMC market. STAX is a modular system that allows any type of sign company to quickly and easily deploy digital sign solutions for the customers in their market. The unique modular design of STAX allows sign companies to quickly and easily assemble a high definition digital display supported by a rigid frame and optional aesthetic back panels. STAX is designed for easy plug and play installation. Connect your assembled STAX display to power and it will automatically come online via cellular router. The modular architecture of STAX allows your team a lot of flexibility and creativity in terms of production and installation. No sign product is a good product unless it is sellable to your market. The STAX modular system allows sign companies to turn their projects into profit faster. The STAX product allows any sign company to take a big ticket sale item and quickly generate profit by completing the job. We don't want a sign company to have to tie up their cash flow that can take up to 8 weeks. Because of our partnerships with regional distribution experts that know the sign industry, it is not uncommon for an enterprising sign company to go from customer order to complete an install in as little as 3 days, something that's unheard of in the digital signage industry. It is central to our delivery of STAX that we provide an elevated level of support that any sign company and their customers should expect from an EMC manufacturer. What does it mean to be supported? Well, we sell an electronic piece of equipment that sits outside and works for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for up to 10 years. When you or your customers have a sign issue, you expect quick and courteous response from a technical support standpoint. Thank you for stopping by this virtual trade show. We would love to talk more with you about how STAX might help the future of your sign company. We have live representatives ready to jump on a chat or for a video conference with you right now.
So as you can see through that short little video, this product is perfect for you in several different situations. And so I'm going to bring Jenny back in and let her talk a little bit about the hardware side of it and the installation and assembly of that.
Yeah, so Shane, one of the questions I get asked all the time is, since it's a modular system, what's the assembly like? So let's talk about the assembly of your message center once you get it in stock a few days after you order it. Since it is modular, it's all made up of 1 foot high by 2 foot wide modules. And because of this, you can build any size you want within those parameters. You can do a 3x6, a 4x8, depending on what size you order. GSG is going to deliver you an unassembled message center. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. There's only 4 components. There's a frame that the module hooks into, so a frame and a module. And then your third component are the cables that run from each module. They daisy chain from one module to the next. And there's only 2 cables, an in and an out per module. The fourth component is the controller or the brain that pushes your beautiful images to your new message center. That's it. There's no fans, there's no power supplies, no other moving parts, nothing else for you to assemble or fool with. I like to say it's the KISS method. They want to keep it simple, stupid. So everything about this layout is simple. Everything about the design is simple. I'm going to show this quick video. Let me see if I can share my screen and talk at the same time.
Not a chance.
I know. So while I'm pulling this up, yeah, I can't talk and do it at the same time. Hang on. Pause. Okay, so this is a time-lapse video. It's a 12-minute assembly of a 4x8 single-sided unit. Don't worry, it's only a 2-minute video because it's a time lapse. But just to give you an idea of what the assembly looks like. So you can see this woman is bolting each of the frames together. Now, I believe she's using 1 foot by 2 foot frames. They also have an option for 2 by 2 frames. The frames are determined during the quoting process for what best fits the parameters of your display and is more cost effective. So the larger frames help you put it together faster and can be less expensive because there aren't as many smaller frames. Every frame has a connection point for bolts on all 4 sides. So that's what she's doing now, just assembling each one.
And you also notice at the top up there, there's some silver pins up there. Those are guide pins. They'll also help. That also helps them to easily put one frame on top of the other one so that you're automatically lined up. Those pins will also be lifting points for you, and they'll lift up to, I believe, 350 pounds per pin. So there's multiple uses for that. One to help speed up the assembly as well as the install.
Great point. Yeah, so you'll see here we're already 3 minutes in. She's got the frames put together and bolted for the 4x8, and she started putting the modules in 1 by 1. When she gets up a little bit higher, I'll go ahead and talk about this. You'll be able to see it a little better when she gets up a little bit higher, but she's actually securing each module with an Allen key. On the front of every module, there are 6 very small holes where the Allen key slips in and you twist it, and this secures the brackets on the back to the frame. So it locks your module in. I'm pointing this out just so you know that if you ever had to service a sign, this would be the same way that you would access the EMC once it's inside the cabinet. You would never have to access the back again, so you can fully enclose it. So we're 10 minutes into assembly now, and as you can see, she's connecting the power and data cable to each module. Once you purchase, or even get, once you purchase a specific size, like for instance, this 4x8, you're emailed a schematic for where the wires start, how they go throughout the display, and where they finish. The reason for this is so that you wire it correctly, so that it maps correctly once you send the content to it. You'll notice that every cable has one yellow end and one blue end. Everything is color coded. Again, the KISS method. Yellow to yellow, blue to blue. This makes it easy for your install crew. As Shane said, you can send your C-list installer for something like this, and even they can do a great job. I mean, it is as simple as can be. So yeah, she's connecting each module. So she'll start at the bottom left based on the schematic she was giving. She'll go up, over one, down, over one, up, and so forth until she gets to the end. And just like that, start to finish, 12 minutes. Very simple. So I hope this helps debunk some of the fears that you may have of it consuming a bunch of labor in your shop. Because as you can see, this woman put it together in 12 minutes. So it can't be that bad.
And Jenny, one of the things that I get asked a lot is, how much does that sign weigh?
Oh, good question. Because of the fact that it doesn't have as many moving parts as some of the competitor EMCs, it doesn't have the fans and the power supplies and things that I talked about earlier. You're looking at considerably less weight than your traditional EMC. A double-sided 4x8, just because that's a standard that's used all the time, is around 340 pounds. So that would make one side of a 4x8 about 170. This allows shops that maybe don't have a crane able to lift something of that size and install it. So again, just trying to keep it easy and simple.
Perfect, perfect. Well, now we're going to move on and talk a little bit about the added value. We all know that the first thing a customer is going to ask you is, hey, I want one of those digital boards. How much is that going to cost me? Well, we know that the first thing that happens is we give them a price, they're shell shocked, and then they're going to reach out to another sign company and see if it's the same price. So one thing that I want to keep in mind, I want everyone to keep in mind when they're dealing with STAX is this is an edge-to-edge EMC. Therefore, on your 4x8s, you're getting a full 4x8 display. So you're getting a full 4 foot by 8 foot worth of pixels as well. So one of the things that I always talk to my customers about is when they're competing against another sign company, always look at this price per pixel. Every quote that comes out, whether it's STAX or any of the other competition, it's going to tell you what the pixel matrix is. So you can figure out how many pixels are on that sign. Then you can take that to your customer and say, okay, I'm charging you $1 a pixel where they're charging you $1.25 per pixel. So always when you're selling, think about the little things that add up, that don't go to that you don't necessarily see in the bottom line. The second thing that I'll bring up is what one of the things that Jenny mentioned is the different ways that you can install this, that you might not necessarily have to use a crane. You could put some, use your C installers versus your A installers. You might not have to use a crane. You might not have to use guide wires. You can have one truck on there because of how light it is. So your install might not be as much as what a normal traditional EMC would be. Another thing to think about with this particular software, it is a lifetime. We mentioned in there that it is cellular data. So you don't necessarily have to have Wi-Fi. You don't necessarily have to have an Ethernet cable. With cellular, it keeps your customer from having to get onto their customer networks. That is big when it comes to hospitals, schools, doctor's office. People don't want you to be on their for security reasons. They don't want you to be on the network. So with the STAX, it comes with for your customer, it comes out with lifetime cellular data. So that means that throughout the life of this sign, they never have to pay a dime towards a data plan. That is big when you think about how much a data plan costs each year. The second part of that is there is lifetime training for your customers who are going to have the content for this. They're going to manage the content for this. So for example, you have Miss Sally, who's been doing the content management and the programs for the church for the last 20 years, and she decides to retire. So we bring in Miss Sally's niece, who's going to take over and start doing all this. Well, she doesn't know anything about how to operate a message center. Well, good thing for you is they bought a STAX, and now all they have to do is call up STAX, and they'll get that new person trained for free. Another part of that for you is you don't necessarily have to worry about training anyone. Once your install crew leaves the site and it's running the way it wants to, everything is pushed over to STAX now. Training of the software, making sure it's configured properly. Your guys just go out there and put that sign up just like any other static sign, pylon sign, monument sign that you may manufacture. Also, there are two options that come with, actually there's three options really that come with the content management service. Right out of the box, there is a program called SM Infinity. SM Infinity is a content management software that basically does the same thing that every other EMC company uses. It's pretty difficult to use. It's a little bit, if you're not a designer, it's a little bit hard to design in, and so on and so forth. But that's an option. The second option is with a STAX unit, you become, with a STAX unit, you get a lifetime free of their free subscription with a company called Project Content. So basically what that amounts to is you get a limited number of templates that are just straight up templates that are not editable. So you couldn't edit them yourself. But with STAX, we feel it is so important that the content that is on these boards, let's be honest, all these boards are basically the same. What differentiates me from the guy down the street is the fact that my content looks better than the guy down the street. So I want to make sure that I have access to make great content easy and affordable. So we are so concerned about what kind of content that's put up on that STAX unit that the first year, which is about a $600 value, you will receive the middle of the road, the most popular STAX bundle. So basically it's $600. So that would be a year's worth of free content management. I'm not going to dive deep into the content management, but it is simple for anyone, whether they're a graphic designer or they've never worried about a graphic in their life, to be able to manage the content on that. So there's your another added value. So now we're talking about the install time and the savings from install. We're talking about the ease of content management and the fact that your customer will have lifetime training and lifetime cellular. The next thing we're going to talk about, and I kind of touched on this a little bit, is the sign company on-site responsibilities. Basically, all you're going to do is go out there and install this sign, call up STAX. Hey, I got this thing up. Well, we need to get it configured, and they'll call into the tech support line. They'll get somebody on the phone. I can promise you that they're not going to sit there for 2 hours waiting on somebody to call them back. And then from there, they'll configure it, and your installer will get back in the truck and drive to the next job. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, as far as added value, is just the ease of any service. And like Brett said in his video, you know, this is basically a piece of electronics that is outside 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. It's basically like setting a TV outside. So you will have problems. I don't care what EMC you use, you will have problems. So how it's supported and the ease of fixing it. With STAX, with no fans, no ribbon cables, no internal power supplies, it's simple. All you do is, hey, we got a problem. They'll log into it, see what's going on with it. If it's a module, they'll ship you a module. You'll go out there, unscrew 6 Allen wrench holes like Jenny talked about when we were installing it. You'll pull that out, take your cables off, put the new module in, boom, you're gone. Okay. You're not going to have to get on site and call tech support and find out which ribbon cable goes to where, or how to change out this power supply and put this new power supply. So these are all the added values of STAX that makes this more affordable for you and your customer. It also could drive your profits up a good bit. So those are a couple of things, not a couple of things, several things to keep in mind as you think about STAX and how it fits into your selling of EMCs. So just to kind of recap, we have inventory readily available, modular system. Another thing to talk about is when you buy, since we stock this product, here's another little added value. Since we stock this project, we can deliver this on the GSG truck, and it won't cost you any extra to have it shipped. You know, when you get a quote from us, you'll see it'll say $0 shipping. That's because we're bringing it to you on our truck, and you don't have to pay for shipping on that.
So fast turnaround and no shipping charges. It's a pretty big deal.
You know, they always say in the sign business, you can have it fast or good or cheap. But you can only choose 2 of the 3. So I'm saying you're going to have fast, good, and lots of profit on this. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. But hey, remind me, Jenny, how long was that install for that 4x8, the assembly?
12 minutes for one side.
Okay. So that means 24 minutes for a full 4x8.
Yep.
Okay. So it's 11:26. So we could have already had a 4x8 double side installed and ready to go in the time that we've done this brown bag lunch.
That's right.
That's pretty impressive if you ask me.
That quick and easy.
Yep. So anyway, guys, that's what we got. We'd love to have any questions. You know, you can put it in the chat or in the Q&A. Actually, I don't even see a chat down here. So there's a Q&A. It looks like we do have a question. Is standard pricing sheet available for various configurations for us be quick to respond to the customer with a price? Also, what resolutions are available through STAX? Jenny, you want to?
Yeah, so yeah, I can answer that. So Jim, the resolution that's available is 9.5. The pitch is 9.5. They only have that one option. As you know, everybody's getting to a tighter pitch. So really not as much of a need for a 16 or 20 millimeter or 19 millimeter anymore. So 9.5 is the resolution, and it is an SMD chip. And not your traditional red, green, and blue diode. So with the SMD chip, you get the sharpest. It actually gives a pinhole effect, the black around the white diode, so that your eye visually sees the sharpest image available. Standard price sheet available. We don't have one of those, but we would be happy to get you pricing if you wanted to shoot us an email for some standard sizes that you think you would quote on a regular basis, of 4x8, 5x10, 3x6. We'd be happy to get you some of those that you could just file away for future quotes.
The beauty of the STAX unit when it comes to from a quoting standpoint is that, you know, you're buying components such as modules, cables, frames, controllers, stuff like that. So after you after you go through a few of these, I mean, you'll have component pricing just like you would on power supplies and trim caps and channel letter coil and stuff like that. So you could technically figure your own price because you would have those pricings available. We always suggest that you get quotes from us, and like Jenny said, you know, we'd be happy to give you prices on 3x6, 3x8, 4x6, 4x8, 5x10s, whatever sizes you need, because there's a lot of information in those quotes that's important to the end user when you're trying to close that deal. So, such as the weight, such as the power requirements, such as the number of pixels, things like that.
Hey guys, there was one more question.
Okay.
Someone has a question about the warranty.
So the warranty is a 5-year warranty, parts only.
I think we forgot to bring that up, so thank you for asking.
Yes, we definitely did that. One thing about the SMD chip, Jenny, that Jenny didn't mention was that with the SMD chip, it also very much improves your viewing angle. So if you look at a traditional 3-diode RGB EMC, when you get about 45 degrees from it, you start losing the image. With an SMD chip, you can get almost right beside, I mean, looking at it straight on from the side and have a good image. We did have another question that is, see, thanks for the answers. Where do I send the request for the 3 configurations that you mentioned? We're currently quoting 2 other EMC providers. Oh, Jenny, you're handling that, but we're willing to quote your product also. You know, feel free to send that to me or Jenny, either one. At GSG, we have different sales reps in different territories, but would be more than happy to get those quotes out to you. Jenny, do you want to type in email addresses?
I did. I'll add them to the chat too.
Another thing that we have available at GSG, we can come on site and do on-site demos with you and your customers. We have a trailer pulls behind a truck that has a 4x8 single-sided STAX unit on it, and we'd be more than happy to ride out and see your customer and do a demo with them. We just need a few days. You know, the demo unit stays in Dallas, so if it's someone that was in Baton Rouge, it might take us a few days to get that unit over to Jenny, so that she could come out and do the demo.
Yeah, guys, I guess that's everything that we had to cover today. Just wanted to let you know that if you have a need for a message center, I know some other competitors are a little bit behind, or the timelines may be longer than what your end user is looking for. So we would love an opportunity to quote STAX for you and get it in your hands to satisfy your customer. Feel free to reach out. Anything else, Shane? Anything else you have?
Well, Jonathan replied to Jim and said, Jenny's always been great and very quick to reply with quotes. So a little shout out to
Jonathan.
A shout out to Jenny for her job well done.